There are a lot of confusions regarding the secure boot certificate updates. For example, the PowerShell is showing true, but Windows Security is showing another message. The PowerShell is showing the status as true, but the registry values indicate a different thing. So in this video, I will try to clear all these confusion regarding the secure boot certificate updates. So let's start. First of all, let's see the secure boot certificate expiration timeline. This is the official website of Microsoft. I will provide all required links and all required commands in the video description. Scroll down, you will see this table. Microsoft Corporation KEK CA 2011 and Microsoft UEFI CA 2011 will expire on June 24 and 27 respectively. But this particular certificate, Microsoft Windows Production PCA 2011, will expire in October. Now, next thing is to check the status of the new secure boot certificates in PowerShell. Launch PowerShell as admin and run these commands. Let's copy this command. Launch PowerShell as an administrator. Paste this command and hit enter. The output is true. This means that the new secure boot certificates are present on my system. Now let's check the status of old secure boot certificate. This one also shows true. Now here the confusion starts. Both of the certificates are present on my system. See what happens. Why is it still true? Because Microsoft does not remove the old certificates immediately. The removal of the older certificates happen slowly. You will better understand this later in this video. Now the next is checking the event logs. Here you have to launch Windows Event Viewer. Now click here, filter current log, enter event ID 1808 and click OK. If you see this information that says this device has updated secure boot CA keys, this means that your device currently having the latest certificates. You do not need to worry about anymore. Okay. Now the next thing is to check the messages in Windows Security app for further clarification on the secure boot certificates. Launch Windows Security. Select Device Security. Now here it is under the secure boot section. Secure boot is on and all required certificate updates have been applied. No further certificate changes are needed. This means that my system has the latest secure boot certificates and they are installed on my system. So I do not need to worry about it. You may see here different messages. We will talk about them later in this video. Now this is the important part. Checking the secure boot certificate 2023 deployment status using the registry value. Open registry editor and navigate to this path. Copy this path and paste it here, the address bar of the registry editor, then hit enter. Make sure that the servicing folder is selected on the left side. Now what you have to check is the status of this particular registry value. UEFI CA 2023 status. Here it is. It should show updated. If it shows updated, then you do not need to worry about anymore, because it means that you have the latest secure boot certificates and your system is using them. However, if you see these two values, any of these two values, not started or in progress. If you see not started, then this means that the update has not yet run. So in this case, I suggest you to keep installing Windows updates regularly. In progress means the update is actively in progress. So do not miss any Windows update. If any of these two values are reflected in registry editor, then the next thing you should check is this particular registry key. Windows UEFI CA 2023 capable. Here it is under the same path. Okay. It may show these three values or it may be missing from the registry editor. On my system, it is showing 2. What does it mean? It means that Windows UEFI CA 2023 certificate is in the database and the system is starting from the 2023 signed boot manager. So everything is okay in my case. If it shows 1, Windows UEFI CA 2023 certificate is in the database. Okay, so in this case, you should keep installing Windows Update regularly. But if this value is missing or shows 0, if it is present, then it means that Windows UEFI CA 2023 certificate is not in the database. Windows has not downloaded the certificates yet. Something might be preventing Windows from downloading the certificate. So what is the exact underlying cause? You will know the cause in the Windows Security app. We will talk about it later in this video. So keep watching video till end. Now the next thing is, if you see 0 or 1 or this particular registry key is missing or this particular registry key is showing any of these two values. You should also check the UEFI CA 2023 error registry key. It should not exist, or if it exists, it should show 0. On my system, the registry key does not exist. This means that your system is facing some error in downloading or applying the new certificates. So what is the error? You will see that error in Windows Security app. Okay. Now let's run some PowerShell commands for further clarification on the Secure Boot certificate updates. You have to use PowerShell in normal window. Don't use PowerShell as an administrator. Open PowerShell, copy this command, paste it and hit enter. Now check the issuer result. Here you can see that Microsoft Windows Production PCA 2011. This means that my system is currently having this particular certificate, and we have already talked about this particular certificate that it will expire in October. So it is normal that my system has this particular certificate. Now also note down the not after result. This will show the expiry date of this certificate. Okay, as per the documentation of Microsoft, this certificate will expire in October, and it is also showing here. The next is Microsoft timestamp PCA 2010. It will expire in 18th of May 2027. The next thing is copy this command and paste it here, then hit enter. Okay, here you can also see that the result is the same for this particular certificate expiry date. Now let's talk about these two certificates that are going to expire in this month, in June 2026. So copy this command and launch PowerShell as an administrator. Press enter. As you can see, it is showing the result true. This means that this particular certificate is currently present on my system. Now let's check the result for this certificate. Here it is showing false. So what does it mean? As I told you earlier in this video, that Microsoft does not remove all the older certificates immediately. The removal of the older certificates will happen slowly. So this particular certificate has been removed from the database. That's why it is showing false. Okay. And this one will also be removed through the future Windows update. Now let's run this command in PowerShell. It will let you know whether Windows has updated the old bootloader. You just copy this. So PowerShell administrator is already running. Paste and hit enter. Focus on the last write time, which is 10th of June 2026, which means that the old bootloader has been updated by the Windows updates. Now let's talk about different messages in Windows Security. Scroll down this page and expand this tab. Detailed status messages. The first message is Secure Boot is on and all required certificate updates has been applied. No further certificate changes are needed. So you do not need to take any action. If you see this message in Windows Security app, my system is also showing this message. Secure boot is on, but your device is using an older boot trust configuration that should be updated. If you see this message, then make sure that your device has the latest Windows update installed. So basically you have to install Windows updates regularly. If you see this particular message, then no action is needed. The certificates update will resume automatically once the issue is resolved. The next message is Secure boot is on, but your device is using an older boot trust configuration that should be updated. This means that your device might need additional validation before the update can proceed automatically. I have made a separate video on this particular Windows security message, so you can watch that video. Secure boot is on, but your device does not support the automated secure boot certificate update due to hardware or firmware limitations. Contact your device manufacturer for assistance. Now here you need to contact your device manufacturer for further assistance, because either your device hardware or firmware is preventing Windows from installing the latest certificate. If your firmware is preventing, then your manufacturer should release the BIOS update. And if it is a hardware issue, then nothing can be done. Secure boot is on, but this device can no longer receive the required updates for Windows boot experience. This means that your device is still using older certificates after the expiration dates. Here is the further clarification of this particular message. It means that either your device hardware or firmware is preventing Windows from installing the latest certificates. In this case, you need to contact your device manufacturer support. Okay, that's all in this video. Thank you for watching. If you find this video helpful, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you.